Good morning, everyone. How are you? It is Wednesday. It's 8:30. The sun is shining and life is good. Anyway, I had a fabulous birthday last week in Seaside, Oregon. Spent lovely days there and the weather was perfect. I want to thank each and every one of you for all of your birthday wishes. You know, I like to not just celebrate my birthday, I like to celebrate my birth month. It's like let's celebrate it all. So, anyway, please as you join me, wave, say hi, send hearts. I love hearts. And in a minute I will get into the show. I do want to let everyone know a little bit of what's going on in my life. This Sunday I will be at Journeys, a Center for Your Soul in Salem, Oregon, with many other vendors. So pop on in, come see us. We'd love to see you. The retreat in Gerhardt, Oregon is attracting people. So come on in and sign up. This is a time for you. And that's what the retreat is all about. It's being able to, one, move through those emotional traumas and allow them to free or allow you to become free of them. Vicki Pruitt is joining me in this, and she does what's called TRE, trauma release exercises, plus many other things that allows these old traumas to release from your body without you reliving them. And then, of course, I go into the magic of life a little deeper, take you through some very things to tap into who you are, what where you can go, reminding you of the magic of life. So it's going to be great. The information is on my website under retreats. It's in Gerhardt, Oregon, and I'm excited. Also, I will be in Honolulu in about, the 4th and 5th, I believe, of May at the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo. So if you're in Hawaii, come on in. See you there. Hello, Julia. Good to see you. And anybody else who's there, feel free to leave a message, say hi. And Juliana, I can see you. Oh my goodness, reading without the glasses. And I want to step into Julia's question because it's a big one for many people, not just you, Julia. And it'll add so much to people's life. Anyway, Julia sent in this question: how do I get to a place of feeling inner strength, confidence, value, and self-love? I so much desire an amazing life, but wonder if I will ever experience it. You know, as I look at this question, one of the first things I ask, or I see to ask, is, sweetie, what makes you think your life is not amazing? We are taught to look at life as if it's outside of us, as if we're not adding to it. And that's not the case. We're also taught to look at life as events that take away from us. And that's where the most focus is. And by golly, we are not taught at all to look at who we are, our beauty, our creativity, our magnificence, the greatness of who we are. We're taught, if we look on those lines, that we have stepped into the ego, that we've made the world all about us and who do we think we are. Yet for our lives to become amazing, to see who we are, the first step we do is into ourself. Acknowledge us. And that means instead of looking out and saying, please, somebody tell me I have value, tell me I have worth, acknowledge what I do. Instead, look inside. You acknowledge what you do. You see the beauty of who you are. You see and honor your value. Turn the focus away from what you feel is your lack, your ineffectiveness, or even what you consider defective within yourself. Instead, move your focus into acknowledging all that you do that is in the most positive of way. That might be opening your eyes in the morning and seeing beauty outside of you. That adds to life. Look at the goodness you add to the world as you say hello to a stranger, as you tie a child's shoe. You see, it is the simplest things that are the greatest. Not everyone will stand out in front of the public and speak, yet all add to this world in wonderful ways. And that's the first step, looking at you. Right after I shifted, I was driving to work. I still worked at a mainstream job. And, I had the same trainings and teachings as everyone else, that I was just a small player in life. And I was thinking, why me? Why did this happen to me? Who am I? Even though I've had this magnificent experience and I knew everything had a purpose. And in a blink of an eye, and I'm not kidding, in a blink of an eye, every good deed I ever did flashed through my mind. From when I was a very small child, being kind to an animal, opening a door for a stranger, saying hello, smiling, everything. Those are the things we're not taught to look at. We're taught to compare ourselves outward and find fault with. Yet all of that is who we actually are. So Julia, you want to see the greatness of you? Start looking at the greatness of who you are. Acknowledge it. Be conscious in this moment. Step into, even the observer mode of all that you do, and then acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. Give yourself pats on the back, for all that you do. Years ago, my group told me to remind people to be their own best friend. So when you're looking at your life and what's happening in your life, if you were looking out at your own best friend and they were living it, what would you do to support them? How would you acknowledge who they are, what they do, all that they add to the world, and then turn that around and give it to you? Start nullifying the negative thoughts. Each time one comes up, remind yourself, that is just a training. That is just a teaching. That's just a habit. And I cycle through those old thoughts over and over again, and they're actually not supporting me. They're not letting me move in the direction I want. And then change those thoughts that are to supportive, loving thoughts. You're going to find as you do this, your vibrational frequency shifts and changes. As this happens, people around you will respond, many times causing upsets because your energy's changed. They know there's a change. They don't understand what that is. They just know something's different. And so you will plummet back down many times. Instead of plummeting, hold your energy up. Love. I want you to focus at all the good that happens in your life, all of the positives. If you want to have an amazing life, focus your energy on life being amazing. Not that it takes away from, not that it's harmful, not that it's hurtful, that it's absolutely amazing. That's when everything changes. Also look and see when amazing things, fun things, great things, everything that you've asked for or starts to come in, and then you find yourself in an old pattern that negates that or resists it or rejects it. That again is habitual patterns. And that is how you change your life. I am living proof of that. If you want goodness in your life, then focus on goodness. If you want to see how magnificent you are, focus on your magnificence. This isn't going into the ego. Many people, it is my understanding, And so I'm going to put it out this way because it's not up to me nor for me to judge anybody else's belief systems. All adds to this life for a purpose. Yet I hear many times people are saying, oh, I'm to move past this physical body, this ego body. And if I stay there, well, then I'm not doing it. I'm not going into my spirit. I'm not going into the essence of who I am. Yet it's my understanding that we're here to honor this life, this personality we chose, and then allow our essence to connect with, to be with it, to marry into it and have the combination of. Sounds odd, doesn't it? Well, let's rephrase that a little bit. You chose this life, this personality, in the wisdom that all that you are. So why would you deny it? Why would you negate it? Why would you not acknowledge the essence, the spirit, the soul of you is firmly engaged in this life? Why would you rid yourself of a life you have chosen with purpose? Honor that life and see the essence, the soul, the energy of you sharing and emanating from. And that is how you live a more amazing, magnificent, fun life. Claim it. It's yours to have. So, Julia, thank you so much for your question and assisting many others. Focus on the positives. See the beauty of life. See the beauty of you. And your life changes. So now I'm going to move on to the next question after I put on my glasses and say, hi, Terry, good to see you here. And so the next question is by Elizabeth. Why are my ears stopped up? I have no cold or sinus infection. This has been going on for about a week. Gratitude and blessings to you. Interesting. We have so many people that are having physical symptoms that are affecting hearing, vertigo, and various things like this. And when we're in a movement of spiritual shift, energy shift, we will have physical symptoms that are unexplainable. It's one of the things, ears, of course, represent resisting higher hearing. So it's just opening the door and allowing that hearing to be there. Connect, one, do some meditation, but instead of meditating in a framework of creating, just see yourself opening and allowing. And just be in stillness. This will assist in the opening of the higher hearing, the higher understanding, and the higher seeing. By higher, all I mean is more expanded. We do this higher and lower thing as if this world's, kind of minimal. And that's not the case. We are not fully in the expanded awareness. So when I say this, so we could switch that word out to expanded hearing, expanded seeing, expanded understanding. If it feels as if there's a limit to you in any way, then ask what verbiage is best for you, and then allow that to come in. And it is saying, Elizabeth, that you have probably 2 to 3 more weeks. And remember, time is an illusion. You can shorten this, you can lengthen this, of this pressure in your ears. I'm asking, oh my goodness. Now, one of the things that's occurring for you is in this resistance is opening to hearing. It says voices from the past. And those are some that you heard early on that, it feels argumentative. And so that's where part of the resistance came in. But it's also showing the layers of life throughout. There was experiences when you were younger in which you heard in an expanded way that made you nervous, made you somewhat afraid when you were small. So it's revisit that part of the meditation, just going into that, just asking of any time period within this life in which you heard from, say, the other side or your guides or angel, anything that was not of this physical world, and ask where the child became somewhat intimidated, overwhelmed, afraid, and allow this to be, it just says, comfort her and let her know that she's safe. That's you, that child self, and allow this to open up. And don't dismiss what it is you're hearing, because there's a part of you that has listened in an expanded way and has heard and then negated it. So play with this a bit and have some fun with it. And we're in a time of change. We're in a time of opening. And so let's just allow that to happen. Okay? Okay. Now we're going to move on to Juliana. I recently met an intriguing woman with whom I expect to be friends, dance partners, and TBD. She is an Aries, and I am aware of those traits that might not flow with my Cancerian sensitive side. I had to chuckle at this one, and you'll know why in a minute, Juliana. There is an obvious and fairly strong energetic connection between us. Can you please shed some light on close relationships we may have shared in the past or other lives? Juliana, I am an Aries, yet my moon and my ascendant are in Cancer. I'm not in conflict. Remember, when we're looking at all of this, astrologically, it isn't just the sun sign. We have 11 other planets in there. We have asteroids. We have so many other things. And so when we're looking at somebody and we see their sun sign, you see one expression of who they are. The same as being a Cancer, you're only seeing one expression of who you are. It would be fun for you to have her chart done up in your chart, and then have it placed over to see what you came in to do together, how you're to affect each other's life, but find out where her other planets are. And one of the things, your ascendant is in some astrologers' view is more of, oh goodness, the words are being taken away, is more of your personality than the sun sign. It's there. But remember, your ascendant and your moon and your sun all represent a piece and part of you that the world sees, and so there's other factors in there. Other lives. Oh my goodness, girl. Think of it. We've had infinite lives. And so what role did you not play in this person's life? What role did she not play in yours? What are you, more than your past lives, it's what you came here to do together now. Why you chose to have these lives here intertwined. It's very complementary, is what I'm seeing. And it's an opening of expression. You're an amazing teacher for others to remind them to not deny aspects of who they are, to live fully in the idea of who they are, and giving freedom to people, bringing the idea of freedom. You're very expressive. You're very and vocal about your experiences in life and where they've taken you, how you've claimed your abilities, and how easily it is now for you to manifest. And it reminds people that everyone can do this. And that's part of what this woman's in your life for, is a play partner to say, hey, let's look at the magic. Let's look at the dreams. Let's create that magic and dreams, but assisting her in seeing how to do this. I'm supposed to tell you you're not walking alone, because there's a part of you that you're very much out there, very, very, very expressive in all that you do. But and this comes from that Cancerian nature. There's a part of you that pulls in and holds these pieces in, and kind of protects yourself from others. So as you're doing this with this woman, with this walk, this dance, this relationship, remind yourself it's okay to remember that you're not walking this alone always, that you may walk hand in hand with others, with her, with others. And so this is part of it. And that's what she's bringing you. You know, again, Aries nature, as I know, is one that does tend to walk alone quite a bit. Well, the Cancerian nature is to pull themselves in at times and cut off from everybody. So both of you are showing each other how to connect and actually move through and live in this life by being fully seen, connected, and enjoying it. So that's what I get from that. Past lives, that isn't, they're just, right now I just get my groups just saying, yeah, that doesn't really matter. It's this life to focus on. And there is some what we call healing occurring here, and a healing of spirit. And so notice that these times, and it isn't just her, so notice that these times when she awakens a deep emotion in you, one that brings you to this point of pulling in, that she's here to assist you in moving through that, the same as you're here to assist her with that. And you loved delightful relationships, and this is quite delightful. Now, one of the things, since we did ask and they decided to decided to go ahead and answer, is they're showing a lighthouse, an old lighthouse, and it's sitting out in a rock. It shows on the East Coast more than on the West. It's not really giving a place, but it shows keepers of the lighthouse, partners in it. But it's just, this is what's fun, because we always think, oh, it must be a relationship, a love relationship, and it's showing two old guys, two older men who were the caretakers of the lighthouse. And so that's another thing. You two can share a space very equally together and get along quite well. One will do one task, the other will do another task. In other words, your talents and abilities are quite complementary, and assisting each other and taking care of things. It shows one of the gentlemen staying with the lighthouse as the other gentleman's rowing in to get supplies, rowing his boat in. And so, again, supporting and caretaking for each other. Now, that is the questions we have for today. If there's anything you'd like to post really quick, great. I am one. Oh, let's see, I've got to move this. Apparently there is more questions and more things going on. This doing it myself is an interesting thing. Anyway, the tendonitis, yeah, you know, this is another thing that we are moving through. One of the things that I do, because I do have it also, is as it becomes too loud or too interfering, I ask them to turn it down. Remember that this is not just about the physical world, the physical life. This is a connection in life beyond this life. Some of the sounds, some of the noises that you hear are frequencies coming in, communications from this world outside and into outside worlds. And it at times becomes overwhelming. Not all are aware of the physical complications it can cause. So voice yourself. Turn it down. It is too much. Turn it down. It is too much. And you will find that many times the sound decreases. Now, on a physical level, it is showing there is a device that you may get that is inserted in the ear that actually helps to decrease the noise. So that's something on the order of a hearing aid, something to that effect. It would be well worth looking into on a physical level, but also work with the expanded outside of this world level. I was, when I first shifted, and again, my family was really thinking I probably lost my mind, but they adjusted to talking about the ascended masters, the angels, and those who crossed over. And I was not even going to go to, hey, there's other planetary beings. It was like, yeah, no, they're already having difficulty, so I wasn't even going there. And I was down in San Francisco doing a workshop, facilitating a workshop, and everybody was in chairs around me, and I was in the group, and I was answering questions, and all of a sudden, a gentleman asked me, he goes, do you talk to aliens? And before I could answer, I had heard this high pitch, but also an energy hit me right here in the head and caused a terrible pain. And automatically, my head went down, my hand went like this. I said, turn it down, it hurts. Instantly, it stopped. So remember, there's other communications coming in. And another thing that I'm noticing, and I pay attention to anything and everything when I'm doing any type of reading for anybody, all of a sudden my nose is itching. Every part of me wants to scratch. And that's telling me allergies. Also look into allergies. One of the things that you can use that actually is beneficial to your body in many ways is a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of local unprocessed honey. So get honey from your area, because those bees touch each and every thing around, and it goes into their honey. And as you ingest that, it helps you build immunity. And this will also help decrease part of the ringing in your ears. Okay, I'm going to put my glasses on because there's so many more people here than I even thought. I thought, oh, we have 4 people. So hi, Sitali, and I always mispronounce your name, Sitlali. There we go. Just bear with me. Hi, Mark, Sharon, Jolynn, and Christine. Oh my goodness, glad to see each and every one of you here. You know, if you have a question, go ahead and, oh, my son's in Mexico this week. He'll be safe, right? So like, Christina, honey, you know what I'm going to say. Sweetheart, relax. He will be safe. He is safe. You know, letting go of our children is a challenge for many of us. Yet, the same as you have your angels, your guides, and your support system in place, so does he. And worrying about him doesn't assist him. And it doesn't, you know, it adds an energy. If he's at a lower vibration, it can add an energy to create an unpleasantry. It doesn't mean something that's life-threatening or anything like that, but just some unsettledness. So see him having a good time, a wonderful time, and fully supported and safe. It's an adventure. You know, think of all the things you did when you were his age. Think of the things you do now. And yes, I have grandchildren and children. I worry about them. Then I catch myself doing that. And I remember the same things I'm telling you. And I see them enjoying their life, safe. I see their angels around them, their guides, and they're going through their life process. You know, and one thing about it, we all have our life experiences, our chosen life lessons. And we are going to attract in everything that brings us to those life experiences, to those lessons. So if we have an energy interfering even just slightly, we will keep creating over and over again until we have that full experience and get that full lesson. And yes. Okay, Christina. So adults who, okay, I'm reading, and I'm hoping everybody else is reading along with this, because Christina's going, but there's no adult supervision, and yet they're adults. Christina, go back to when you were their age. What did you do? How many adults were walking along, holding your hand for every little experience you had? again, it doesn't see, and let me look just a little. I don't see either of them. It feels like there's two, possibly three boys there. Anyway, doing anything that's going to call attention to them. One of them is remarkably level-headed and actually kind of is the stronger personality and keeps everybody in check and in line. So yeah, it's just part of the growing. They will be fine. And you think you wonder. Okay, again, now this is Christina. She looks back at her life when she was his age and wonders how she made it through it. Well, I think many of us can say that. You know, I don't even tell my grandkids what I did because I don't want them to even go there, do that. Yet, you know, because that was my journey, not theirs. Anyway, so gentle reminders. Sign up for the Gearhart retreat in July. Spaces are going, which I love. That means people are choosing to really step into their own personal power. And I will be in Salem, Oregon, Sunday the 28th at Journeys, a Center for Your Soul. And May 4th and 5th, I believe that's the weekend. I'm not sure if it's the 5th and 6th or 4th and 5th of May. And I will be in Honolulu at the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo there. So if you're listening from Hawaii, come see me there. Okay, everybody, have a fabulous week. It's good to be back. Thank you again for all of your birthday wishes. It touches my heart. And if you have something you want to talk about, a topic, anything like that, send it to me. It's, you know, like Julia's question adds a lot to other people's lives. And I know you have thoughts and concerns. Also, if you're wanting to look deeper into one of the issues that you're going through, you know, contact me for a deeper reading, because a lot of, you know, touching on your very personal aspects is not something this is a platform for. And there's various things that come up that you don't want the whole world to, you know, to be involved in. And oh, I love it. Terry is feeling powerful energies and surrendering to what she is feeling. And it's a big shift within. Oh, you know, I'm going to talk just a minute. One more minute. Is last week, well, first of all, let's step back. Not this Saturday, but the Saturday before. Sounds like something you say. 24 robbers came knocking at the door. That was back in early kids. Anyway, I was to do the Rasani, and it was Saturday morning, Saturday and Sunday, which I did it. And Saturday morning, my little dog ate my grandson's AirPods. You know, those nice hard plastic pieces, and he had to be rushed up and have a surgery. And then I was to go to the coast, and I kept sliding into that deep worry. Well, I did leave him at the vet's while I was gone in case there were complications. They'd taken a lot of pieces and parts out of his little tummy. And I found myself at the coast sliding into this deep fear, this worry, almost, you know, this high anxiety. And as much as I would do my best to pull myself out of it using the same techniques that I mentioned to each and every one of you, I was having a challenge getting out of that fear. And then it dawned on me. He and I were so connected. I was feeling his anxiety, his fear, being in a strange place with other animals around that are in their fear and anxiousness, and it increased mine, where it was challenging to let it go and see the best. So remember, when you're going through a difficult time, a time in which you're worrying, who else, what else may you be energetically connected to in a way that you're intuitively and empathetically picking up on what's theirs? That's something to ask yourself off and on. You know, who am I around? What is this? And then be willing to disconnect. You're not, when you disconnect, you're not abandoning them. You're just disconnecting the energy. The heart connection is still right there. You still send the energy of support and love. Then you're able to actually see a more positive outcome and support that. So there's a little tidbit to end this show with today. So, oh, I'm glad you vibrated to the last few days. Okay. Anyway, everybody, have a great day. I think today's a day I'm going to go work in the yard a little bit. Love you all. See you next Wednesday. Send in topics that you're interested in. Send in your questions. I will post a banner Sunday or Monday and talk to you. Oh, I probably won't talk to you next week. I will be in Honolulu. So go ahead and let's just move all of that to the following week after I'm home. Anyway, because I will, and there's such a time difference in Honolulu, plus I'm there for work and flying in on Wednesday. I will be in an airport, an airplane, that sort of thing. So I won't be here next week, but I'll be here the following week. Have a happy day. I love each and every one of you. Bye-bye.